Hello friends, my name is Hameed. Today I am working on this Dacor gas cooktop. It's gas and electric. The model number for this unit is SGM362EM. And today I'm going to replace this spark module and show you how to replace this. But before I replace this, I'm going to show you how to find the problem. I will go through some testing points and teach you how to find your problem, that if it's the spark module or something else, and then I'll teach you how to replace this and fix it. So this is the cooktop, the way it looks. The electric part is working okay, but the gas part is not working. And if I turn it on, I can smell gas, but it's not sparking. This is for electric, this is for gas part. If you turn it on manually, you can do that, and I'm going to show you. It will only work if you use a lighter. The customer has been using this lighter. The funny part is that the customer actually found my other YouTube video working on gas cooktop, and he lives in our city. We live at the same city, and this is the spark module. I'm going to show you. I will replace this today, but before I replace that, we're going to need a special tool for this in order to remove this cooktop, the top part. We need this special tool made by Dacor. The original part is 86007 that you can order it or look for it on Google search. The new part number, because Samsung bought Dacor, they changed this number 86007 to DE81-08503A. This part used to be about $7. Now you can find it for $14 or $21, and it has different pricing because Samsung bought Dacor, so the price went up. We need the center punch. It's very important, it's very necessary, because this unit is about 26 years old, 26 years. In order to remove these top brass parts, which this we're gonna remove it later on. I got this extra from another unit to help this customer. To remove this, we need to use this tool at the center of that. But in order to remove this old brass ring from the top of the burner, we're gonna have to use the center punch to loosen it up, and we also need to use WD-40. So first thing first, we're gonna turn off the power on this unit and then work on it from there. So I'm gonna remove this part. I'll leave it here for now. And then the smaller one is the front, large one is at the back. We're also going to remove all of these knobs. Make sure to remember the position of the knobs. It's an off position and how they look. And we are also going to remove this electric cooktop part. You have to lift it up from the back almost in 45-degree angle and then pull it out like that. They get disconnected from the inside. And now we're gonna remove all of these screws. There's one here, one here, one here, one here, 4 screws on this side. And it's Phillips drill bit. And now we have 4 Phillips screws here. And now we're gonna open these caps, these parts that they kind of look like this. See, it has a cut on it on the top, and they both look the same on this side and this side. So the way we're gonna remove this is the special tool which I mentioned earlier. We're gonna insert it like this. See that opening? See how nice it sits? Like that, just like that. And then we're going to turn it to open it. So in order to remove this whole top assembly, we have to remove this burner and this burner. These 2 burners are held by these rings, which I show you. This ring, we have to remove these. This is from a different unit. I brought it to help the customer. To remove this, you put this right here and then turn it. You see that? You keep turning it Once it's loose, you can keep turning it. Here, I removed one, and then I have another one, which is this one. So pretend that this is giving me a hard time. In order to remove this, we need another tool here. We need this crescent wrench. So the way we're going to use this crescent wrench is we're going to get it smaller. You want to make sure it fits here, but more tight. So it's good now, it's tight, see? So I'm going to leave it here, and then I'm going to use this tool. I will show you how it's looking here. See the way it looks? I'm gonna have to turn it. But the trick is you do not want to hold it up from here. You have to bring it all the way down and then use your hand and kind of turn it, see? Okay. So pretend that we are having a hard time removing this ring. What you can do is you have to spray it with WD-40 all over the corners, and then after that you have to use the center punch. The way you're using the center punch is sometimes when I try to remove it even using WD-40, if I force this too much by inserting this and opening it, it actually bends these corners, and I dislike that. I do not want any bends or dents on these tiny parts because of so much force. So to make things easier, you spray it with lots of WD-40, especially on the top part, and then after that you have to use your center punch like this. Just like that. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. If you do that, it actually breaks, it causes a little bit of breakage between this ring and this aluminum piece, which is top of the burner. And now we have sprayed WD-40 here, use the center punch, and here you go. Look at this. The center punch is so helpful. It breaks that barrier between this ring and this piece. And once you know that, you remove everything. Now it's turn to kind of wiggle the stop burner back and forth. Sometimes it's really hard to remove. You may want to use a flat screwdriver at the bottom of this and kind of slowly pry it. So I got this flat screwdriver. You may want to stick it and kind of pry it a little bit from one side. Again, a spray WD-40, you can always clean the sides of it. The same thing, you use it from other side, kind of lift that back and forth. And then here you go, you remove this and disconnect it. This one, you can do the same thing. I usually use my pry bar because it's more wider. I kind of stick it at the bottom and kind of go back and forth. Whatever makes your job easier, you can use that without causing any damage to this cooktop. If you think you're going to cause damage, use more WD-40. You can even use this center punch on this on the side. I know that it will not show you that it's gonna make a difference, but trust me, it makes a big difference. Even you can use it on the burner. Just don't overuse it, because you're gonna punch in a small tiny holes on the side of it. Not holes, it's just like a mark. You don't want that mark, it doesn't look good. So now we are gonna lift up because remember we also have infinite switches here, electrical switches. This one and this one is electrical switch, infinite switches. These two are gas valves. So on these two you cannot remove it, but these two parts as it's part of the infinite switch. You have to be very careful. You may want to lift up the cooktop. You may want to push this part down a little bit and lift it up. And I'm gonna use a piece of 2x4 here, something that would kind of hold it up for me. And now, because I have this spark module, I'm not just going to be lazy and install it and call it a day and say, yeah, it's fixed or I found the problem. I have to go through some testing points here. In order to test the components here, the first thing we're going to focus is on our power. Are we really getting power to the unit or not? The good part is, if the customer is saying that the electrical side works okay, but the burners are not sparking, you already know you are getting enough power. On this unit, usually these Dacor cooktops are 120 volts, but when we have electric elements on it, it's 240 volts, and we have to check on that. So if the burner on this side is working, we already know we are getting 240 volts, so I'm not gonna pay attention on that. That's why we are not getting power. But let me check other components here. So here we got the micro switches. So if you look at this side right there, we got a micro switch. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that micro switch button is not broken. And I'm going to show you how it looks. Right here, we have a tiny button. You turn on your power and then press on this button with your flat screwdriver like this. You hear that click noise? You're engaging this switch. You're closing this switch by pressing it. And the same thing, we have exact same switch on other side. We're gonna press on it. There's a tiny button. I'm pressing on top of that button and it's not making a difference. If the spark module was working, the moment I press on this button, on the micro switch, there's a tiny button. The moment I press on it, my spark module would make a clicking noise. Even the igniter on the burner is out, completely disconnected. You see this one and that one. It will still make clicking noise, even if it's like that in here. And the same thing, this electrical wire, this one, electrode wire. It will make a clicking noise. So it did not make a clicking noise. That tells me that maybe the button is not working, maybe these buttons are burnt. To have these micro switches being bad, both of them at the same time, it's not very common. So I'm assuming that my micro switches are working, but still, for me to confirm if the micro switch is working or not, I can disconnect these electrical wires, one from here, one from this side, and check it for continuity and resistance. It can also confirm if the micro switch is working or not. When you check for continuity, when you press this button like that, you should have continuity. When it's not pressed, then you should not have any continuity. That's how you know that this micro switch is working. These micro switches are also being used on microwaves and other appliances like washers, dryers, and stuff like that. But today we are only focusing on a cooktop that's causing the issue here. So the next part, instead of checking the resistance on this micro switch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect these wires. There's one here. It came off easily, but usually it doesn't come off that easily. You have to kind of wiggle it back and forth. Only pull it from the connector, from the plastic here. Do not pull it from the wire. Otherwise, you're gonna cause a damage and then you have a new issue. The same thing, we're gonna disconnect this here. So these two wires, we're gonna jumper them. So by jumpering it, that means you're actually bypassing this micro switch. And if you jumper these two wires, you should get power to the igniters. That igniter should get power if you jumper these two wires where you disconnected it from the switch. So I'm gonna jumper wire this. I am getting power, so it's live. I'm working on a live wire. You have to be very careful. Maybe wear gloves if you want, or just turn off the power before you do this, just to be on the safe side, because you do not want to electrocute yourself. I may get a zap, but it's normal for me. Once in a while I get zaps from these, so it's not end of the world. The jumper wire looks like this. You add the jumper wire here, one, and then another one we're gonna add on this one. Be careful. The moment I touch this, at this moment my spark module should activate these wires, so my igniter should keep sparking and making, even if it's not sparking because it's not connected, these wires should make clicking noise. If it's not making clicking noise, I already know my spark module is dead and I have to replace it. So I did jumper wire here. The same thing, you can do the jumper wire on other side, on other switch, and that can also confirm it if you got problem with the spark module or not. At this moment I already know that the problem is the spark module, but I'm doing all of this just for fun to show you how to go through diagnostic and troubleshooting. So now that we know the problem is the spark module, remember the pins, which wire goes where, you have to disconnect them. Take pictures if you're not sure, and then in order to remove the spark module, you have to kind of take it off. At the back you got this sticky pad here, this one, Velcro, it's called Velcro. I got Velcro at the back of this and at the bottom. I'm gonna have to remove this spark module electrical wires. To do that, I'll show you first the new one I have. You see these two holes, there's usually there's a screw going into those holes to hold the connector in place. Again, the part number for this spark module is 86526. And I'm gonna have to remove that screw. I'll show you. It's a little bit hard for me to make the video and show you at the same time, but I'll see what I can do. As you can see, there's that screw I'm going to remove. It also has a shim to hold the connector in place. And now I'm going to have to hold from the ground wire, neutral wire, and remove it from here. See, this is the spark module. It came off, and I'm just going to show you how it looks. See that? And this is the new one. I wouldn't call this new, but it looks in brand new shape because these spark modules are a little bit hard to find nowadays. I was able to remove this from one of our units in the shop and repair this unit for the customer. Again, we're gonna connect this connector right here. Remember, it's live. I did not turn off the power. It's good now. I recommend you turning off the power, please, just to be on the safe side. I have a lot of experience working on these units, so I know my safety. It's just for yourself, always turn off the power. Always turn off the power. Remember, when you're working on this part, it's possible while you're adding the screw back, and it's possible that half of the connector may come off a little bit, and then your spark module may not work sometimes. So just be careful before you stick this Velcro back in right here. Put your hand, kind of hold your hands, the fingers like this, and press it from the back really hard to make sure it's sitting properly. And now you can connect your electrical wires here and here. And now you can add your Velcro, the control board on top of the Velcro here. So let me try this again just to prove it that your spark module should get activated if you bypass these electrical wires. I'm gonna do this again. This is just for fun. It's not important to do it at this moment because I know the problem is fixed, but you have to stay kind of far from these wires because otherwise it's gonna zap you and it's not pleasant. So here you go, and here you go. Oh, I'm gonna do this one here. Just take the wire all the way, and then another one here. Can you hear that? Do you hear that? Okay, so I'm gonna leave this and I'm gonna show you what's happening here. You hear that noise? So it's still sparking, and the moment I disconnect this, here, it's good now. This confirm 100% that we had problem with the ignition module, or it's called a spark module. We can add our electrical wires back in. This one, it doesn't matter which wire goes where. You just have to make sure that you insert them properly in place. And now we are in a stage that the cooktop is fixed. So cooktop is fixed. I'm gonna put everything back together. I'll do some cleanup, make sure these insulations that you kind of disturb it with your hand and elbow, you wanna fix this insulation back in, and then we can do the rest. You may wanna bring the cooktop down in order to freshen these electrical wires back in. It's a little bit tricky. If you move the cooktop too much, these wires can also fall down. They fall back, and then it's going to give you a hard time. It's easier and it's very convenient if there's someone else who's helping you. But the trick is, I'll show you this. This electrical wire, you kind of make a L shape, bent on it, see that L shape, looking, and then insert it in this position. That way it doesn't come off again. In order to add these screws back in, these screws, it's a little bit tricky. If you know what you're doing, you're not gonna have any issues, but if you're new in this, then it's gonna be hard for you. So what you can do is, the first thing you wanna do is kind of lift it up from this corner. So you put your hand at the bottom and lift up and line up the hole and add your screw. And then do the same thing on this side. These two screws are the main important ones. You may want to work on those two first before you work on the rest of the cooktop. Just kind of line it up and hold it and set your screw back in. Please do not force the screws. Do not drill it too much, because you're gonna strip the screws and you're gonna have a hard time. This is enough. And this one is a little bit hard to insert the screw. You may want to go in an angle position. Do not go straight like this, go in an angle position, and then it's gonna get inserted. It's good now. The same thing here, they get inserted right inside of this receptacle here. Kind of go in a position like this and slowly put it down. Now we are going to work on our burners. The large one goes at the back, They also have gasket. Make sure your gasket is okay. If the gasket is not okay, you can always add a little bit of silicone to fill that gap, and then also do a little bit of cleanup here. That's good. And then you can kind of insert your burner in, and you have to kind of wiggle it back and forth just like that until it sits. The same thing, check your gasket around the burner, do a little bit cleanup here. You can also use a toothbrush to clean this if you want, but it doesn't look too bad, so add it here and then kind of wiggle it so it's good. And now this is the two old ones. These are the kind of newer looking ones. I brought it with me because this is a good cooktop and we should save it by adding some good extra parts here. Those two other ones I removed from the cooktop as I'm just gonna throw it out. We don't need that. These two new ones are much better. And add your caps back in, the brass ring. Please do not over tight these brass parts, because when you get heat it retightens it more, and then in future technicians or homeowners wants to remove these, they will have a hard time and they're gonna break this, or possibly something worse can happen. Dacor sign on it, you want to put it on the front here. The way it looks, it has a D-shaped position, you see, kind of goes in this position. You can also clean this with a steel brush. It can look like a clean brass if you clean it really good. In the future, I will be providing services for cleaning the burners on gas oven and houses by buying one of the sand blaster. If you use sand blaster on this, it's gonna make it look brand new. And now I'm going to turn it on. Let's see. Okay. It will take a little bit of time because this is the first time you're using the cooktop. The cooktop is fixed now. Just for your reference, if you turn on the cooktop after replacement of the bad spark module and it keeps sparking, please open your unit apart, check for that electrical wire, that electrode wire, a white color wire. Maybe it's grounded somewhere, maybe it has a cut on it somewhere. It doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen it in different units. If it keeps sparking and your burners are looking clean, you have to find the ground area where it's grounding. You can always add electrical tape on it to fix it that way, or you can even stick a cardboard piece at the bottom of that wire where it's grounding, and that will take care of the problem. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you guys have any question, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos and share it with others. You can also follow me on Facebook and TikTok. It's called Hameed Appliances Repair. Thank you.